Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is all about my monthly cost of living in London. Just a quick disclaimer, this is what I spend in a month. You can always spend more, you can always spend less. And I would also say that I am definitely very conscious with my spending. I do spend on things that I don't need, don't get me wrong, but I just think about what I'm spending when I'm spending it, and there are things that I do to save money in certain areas so I can spend more in other areas. For me, it's all about making my money go the furthest and getting like the best value for my money. So I wouldn't exactly describe it as like being 100% frugal, 100% budget, like 100% budget lifestyle, but it's about making your money go further. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So I'm just about to get my phone out. Hopefully I can pop up the little screen recording here. So I use Monzo, which is a digital bank here in the UK, and we will go to my summary. So it has this really fun function, you'll be seeing this on the screen, that you can see your summary for the month. I used to have it as like the payday till payday. But now I just have it the first of the month because my income is varied, etc. But it was really handy when it was payday till payday because I could see kind of how much I'd already spent and then how much I had left until the next payday. So that was great. Most people get paid at near the end of the month, around like the 25th to the 28th. I used to get paid on the 28th, but I know heaps of people that got paid on the 25th. And it's really normal to get paid monthly in the UK, if you didn't know that, and as well a lot of people pay rent monthly, so it all lines up. So don't freak out that you're going to have to like calculate it all from monthly into weekly, etc. Okay, so looking at my spending here, so I've currently got £185 left, and I spent £1,632 so far. So I'm looking down a lot in this video. I'm going to try like maybe look over here. So the first thing I've got there is bills. I just have a monthly rent and bills all in one payment. That is £715. That's pretty average for a flat like a house share in London. I'm very lucky. I feel like I got a steal on my room. We have a nice garden, etc. Not too far from the station, but it totally depends where you live, especially the borough and all of that. One of my housemates sorts out all the bills, so that is what is included in the bills. So rent is majority of that, and then we've got council tax, TV license, power, and Wi-Fi. So the next category I have is eating out. Now let's go into this category because you'll be able to see. So I spent £194 of £250, which is like my budget. So you can set your own budgets on Monzo, or you can do it all manually. You can do spreadsheets if that's your thing. But yeah, so you'll see I spent stuff all in different places, some big ones. So this was quite a lot, but I do like to eat out, and eating out in London can be expensive sometimes. So I just allow myself a little bit extra for this cost. I treated myself here, my friend here, to a birthday dinner. So that's £71, and yeah. So let's go back. I had £56 left, so I'm going for dinner tonight and maybe tomorrow. So that'll probably get used up. Then we move on to entertainment. So I adjusted a lot of these transactions because sometimes they fall into the wrong category. So you can just go in like this and then press the category and change it to the right one. So for me, entertainment, I use that as all my drinks. I don't always change it, but for this video I made sure all of the stuff in entertainment was drinks, specifically, so that I could do like a really accurate video of how much I spend on drinks in a month. And if I'm going for dinner and I have drinks, I just keep that as like eating out, because it doesn't really count. Unless maybe I go for drinks after, then that will be drinks separately. Okay, so we have here a bunch of things that I spend. I went on a lovely day trip to Brighton with some friends, and we did brewery hopping, so I spent a bunch there, and just generally going for drinks a couple times a week. So I spent £184 on drinks so far. I'm probably going to spend a little bit more on that tomorrow. I would also say for drinks, I'm very fortunate that I have a lot of friends in the drinks and hospitality industry now after my previous job, and it means I do get a lot of discounts and freebies, but I do pay full price and all of that most of the time, but sometimes I'm very lucky to get those things. So next I've got expenses. The main one is my phone plan. I'm not actually on a plan, I just do pay as you go. I've literally never been on a plan in my life, fun fact. But I just pay £15, and then I paid this this business coach, £165 for her coaching services. So that was just like a random one-off, and it's not something I would spend every month, but sometimes you're going to have those random one-offs, so it's kind of good that that's like in there. Then we go down to groceries. So I spent £134 on groceries so far. I need to get a few things tonight, so that will probably go down. And you can see I shop at a range of supermarkets, mainly Sainsbury's, because there's a Sainsbury's just up the road from me. But I also try to go to Lidl if I can. So £134 for groceries might seem like a lot in a month, but I more or less spend like £20 on like my weekly shop. So that's like going to the supermarket, getting all my basics, what I'm going to be eating for like breakfast, lunch and dinner most days in the week, like Monday to Friday. I usually leave Friday night. Like, you know, I don't prep anything for Friday night because I might be going out, or I want to treat myself. And then whatever I spend in the weekend on groceries or eating out. So adds on. So basically, like, I might spend £20 in the week, but then I might go to Sainsbury's on a Friday and get myself a bunch of treats for the weekend, and then that might be like £12. I think there's a transaction in here actually. There was, yeah, £12.79 at Sainsbury's, and I honestly only bought 5 things. I spent £12.79, so I might have spent £20 in the week for food, but then adding on that £12 makes it £32. So you can see how it can just add up quite quickly. But you know, you got to treat yourself sometimes, and this is just like a realistic overview of exactly what I spend in the month. And that's what I thought would be most useful to people. So like I said, I do go to Sainsbury's quite a lot because it's the closest one to me. But I do most of my bigger shops at Lidl most of the time, and sometimes Aldi, because it's cheaper. So that's how I save a little bit of money on my groceries. I will put another photo of like the cheapest basket like graphic. You'll see what I mean when I put it in here, but basically it will show you like the cheapest is Lidl, and then Aldi, and then I think it's Asda, Tesco, Sainsbury's, etc. And then you'll see Waitrose is crazy expensive. So I only go to Waitrose for nothing. I just go in and have a look, and then I turn around and walk back out. So the next category we've got is transport. Now I spent £116 on transport this month, which might seem like a lot, and it is quite a lot. There's a couple of things that I always do that will help me save on transport. So I will take the bus instead of taking the tube or the train, because the bus is only £1.65 to travel all over London. So if I've got time, if I'm not in a rush, I'll take the bus. Usually it's only like 10 minutes more, maybe 20 at a push, depending on where you're going. But ultimately, if you can spare that extra 10 minutes, for me, it's worth it. Like, because honestly, the train can add up so much. If you think about it this way, like the max fare for buses, if you just took buses all day, no matter where you go in London, the max fare is now £4.95. So the max is £4.95. And then I think for the train and the tube is like £8.70 or something like that. And I think it's separate on the like National Rail as opposed to the tube. Like, it doesn't all add up. So if you take the train and then the tube, you still won't max out your daily cap unless you're traveling a lot. So if you think about every single day taking the bus over the train, that's going to save you like £3.50, and then in a week that's like, quick maths, like £17.50, and that is the price of 2 to 3 drinks when you're out. So just think about that. Think about it in beers. Think about it in the cost of beers. So taking the bus over the tube means you can get 3 extra beers. Just think about that. Is your time worth 3 extra beers? I think so. Anyways, mostly TfL travel charge. I took 1 Uber here. I really don't take Ubers, like hardly ever, unless I'm out really late at night, which hardly ever happens, so. But 1 Uber here for £17 and no one paid me back. Rude people. I guess they never asked and I never saw those people again. But sometimes you gotta, you know, you gotta accept that it's your turn sometimes. The next category that we have is shopping. This month I've only spent £71 on shopping, which is actually not too bad. Some people might see that and be like, whoa, what you buying, girl? But like, it's honestly just small things that add up. Like, I got a new phone case. How pretty is it? Like, I've been wanting a new phone case for so long. So like I said, I'm a very considered spender, especially when it comes to shopping, because I'm like, do I really need it? And I wanted to treat myself to a nice phone case, one that I'll have for a good while, and you know, it's worth getting, rather than buying a cheaper phone case and then just wanting to get a new one in like a month. And then I bought some stuff from Wilko, and then I've got £79 of 150 left. I don't always spend that £150, but sometimes you might spend more. You might be change of season, so you need to make a few investments in certain pieces. Then we've got personal care. So the reason why I separate this from shopping is because it can include stuff like getting your nails done, your hair done, like any beauty treatments that you get on a regular basis. But I literally don't get any of those done. I get my hair cut like twice a year because it's hella expensive and I just like long hair. So I know, don't cover me in the comments, please. But this is mainly just me buying like beauty stuff. So Superdrug and Boots are the 2 main. Why is the sun randomly coming out? So Superdrug and Boots are the 2 main like cosmetic stores here in London. I don't buy any designer stuff anymore. I had to really sadly let go of my Too Faced mascara obsession. I love you, Too Faced mascara. Both the Damn Girl and the Better Than the Sex. Sensational. But I've moved on to cheaper things. Essence, Rimmel. And then very below that, I've just got holidays as the last thing, and I bought a £15 flight on EasyJet for next month. But yeah, so that is all I've spent this month, and I feel like I've done pretty well. So considering my rent is just under half, my rent and my bills are just under half of what I've spent this month, I've not actually spent that much. So if you divide, let's get my calculator out. So we want to go 1600, I'm just going to round it down. Ooh, 1600 minus 715. 715 is 885. So I've spent 885 on my spending this month, and divided that by 4, it's only £220 a week. Which in reality is not, I mean, it's reasonable. It's very reasonable. So I thought just at the end here I would put in like a little bit about, yeah, generally my lifestyle, because how much you spend definitely depends on your lifestyle habits. So I don't pay for the gym. That's a big cost that I avoid. I go for runs. I use like workout apps and workout videos. I have like a little yoga mat and a resistance band and a kettlebell. So that's what I've been using at the moment. There's also no gyms really nearby us, so I just avoid paying for the gym. But remember to factor that in if you do want to pay for a gym. So I don't really go as hard on a night out as other people. So I avoid a lot of costs with that. So I'm out for like not as late, so I don't spend as much money, and also it means I can most of the time take public transport home, which is a lot cheaper than Ubers. I barely ever take Ubers, and I always go to places that are easy to take transport from home, and I always think about that as well when I'm going. So if I'm going somewhere that isn't close to public transport, I'll like factor that into my night. I'm just like I said, a considered spender. Also, I don't often buy like whole new outfits every single time I go out. I honestly just wear the same thing, especially in winter. It was so cold. I just wore jeans the whole time, changed up my jumper, wore the same coat. Like, you know, I remember in uni, I used to buy a new dress for every weekend. Like, what was I thinking? Another lifestyle factor is I work from home, so I don't have the daily commute cost. Also, currently I'm very settled in my space, so I don't find myself buying a lot of homeware. Obviously you can see I've got some plants, but honestly I have so many plants at the moment that I really don't need more. But in previous months I was probably spending more money on homewares and things like that. But I still buy myself flowers from the supermarket, of course. Little £2 tulips. Hit me up. So that is everything. I thought I would just mention as well, don't expect your budget to look like this when you first move over, if that's what you're doing, because when you're first moving over there are a lot of unexpected expenses and costs and things that happen that won't be within your monthly budget, and it will skew kind of like your spending. So don't worry if your spending doesn't look exactly like mine or similar to mine within at least the first 3 months when you arrive. So your spending is going to fluctuate here and there everywhere, but I feel like the last month has been a very average month for me, and I've been working at home the whole time, so I can like factor that in, because at my previous job we had travel, like a travel expense card. So I was very lucky to have all my trains for free, but now I gotta pay. But it's alright, I'm happier and healthier. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm hopefully going to chop this video down so it's nice and concise. And I will see you guys next time. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below. I'd love to have you here as part of my channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.